Hello students, peace be upon all of you. As you can see in the title of the video, in this video we are going to cover symbol probability. What is probability? What is the English definition of probability? Probability is the chances of something happening. The chances of what? Of something happening. So for example, let's say your teacher comes up to you and he asks you, what is the chance of you coming to school tomorrow? You're gonna be like, 50%. Why 50%? I can miss the bus, right? I can get sick. I can the car that takes me to school may break down. Something may happen that may prevent me from going to school. So it's always 50-50. It's always what? It's always 50-50. I can make it to school, but something can also happen that will prevent me from making it to school, right? But how about what's the probability of me? I have my lunch in front of me, and my teacher comes up to me and he asks me, "What's the probability of you eating this lunch?" It's gonna be 100% because the lunch is right in front of me, so I can easily take it and eat it. So that's what probability is. What the chances of what? Of something happening. Okay, so let's say you have a coin in your hand. You have a coin. The coin has heads and tails. Has what? Heads and tails. If you flip the coin, and then you try to you're playing with your friends, you flip a coin. You're like, guess is it head or tails? It's gonna be a 50-50% chance, right? 50-50 chance because 50% chance, half chance because it can be tails or it can be heads, right? So in math, probability is what is defined as being a fraction. Is defined as being a fraction. So probability. Let's write this in a lighter color. So probability is defined as being probability. Probability is a fraction. In math, it's a fraction. What does that fraction has? That fraction has a numerator, and a denominator. In a denominator, it's the number, the total number of chances. Total number. Let's write this down next. Total number of chances. Chances. Numerator is what? This is going to be what? The denominator. Denominator. Remember, denominator is what? Is the fraction has two numbers, a top number and a bottom number. The bottom number we call it the denominator. The top number is the numerator. So the number of chances, total number of chances, and the number of chances you're looking for. Number of chances you're looking at. You are looking at. That will be the numerator. So when the teacher comes up to you and he tells you, what's the probability of you coming to school tomorrow? There's two chances. Two chances. Why two chances? Because you may either come or not come. You may either come or not come. That's the total amount. What? Total number of chances. The number of chances you're looking at is that I might come or might not come. So it could be one of the other. It could be one of what? Of the other. So that would be one. Right? The total amount is two because you can come or not come. That's two chances. Right? Coming and not coming are two chances. But you're only one of them is going to happen. Only one of them is, you're either gonna come or not come. So that's gonna be one. Does that make sense? For example, you flip the coin. There's two heads and tails. So what's the number of chances? Two, heads or tails. But you're gonna get one of them. You're gonna either get heads or tails. So that's gonna also be one out of two. Does that make sense? So simple probability is what? You're taking the total number of chances on the bottom, and you're taking the number of chances you're looking at on the top. All right. Now, let's make this more clear. So again, probability is the chances something is going to happen. It's gonna be likely or impossible. For example, what is your probability of going to the moon right now? Is it possible that I'm gonna go to the moon right now? Is there any astronauts that will take me right now? No. So it's impossible that I will go to the moon right now. What's the probability that you're gonna go to the moon in 10 years? Oh, you don't know. Maybe in 10 years you're gonna be an astronaut, so you may go to the moon, right? So there's something called possible and impossible, or likely or unlikely, right? So possible and impossible, something that will possibly happen, something that will be impossible to happen at a certain time, or in general, depending on how the question is. So when someone tells me what's the probability of you going to the moon right now, oh, that's impossible, man. That's an impossible probability. That's zero chance, right? But what's your probability of going to the moon in 10 years? Oh, maybe I'll study something that will make me an astronaut and I'll go to the moon. So that could be possible, right? So let's say you have a box of cookies, right? You have one chocolate chip cookie, you have 2 vanilla cookies, and you have 2 vanilla cookies and 2 M&M cookies. All right. So 4 cookies total. No, 5 cookies total. Sorry. So 5 cookies total. 5 cookies total. One of them is chocolate. 1 chocolate. 2 vanilla. 2 vanilla. And then 2 M&M. Right? M&M cookies. All right. So 2 vanilla, 2 M&M, 1 chocolate. What's the probability that what's the probability that I'm going to bake a chocolate cookie? So what's the total amount of cookies? 1 plus 2 plus 2, that's 5. So that's the total amount of what? Total amount of cookies. 5. Now the chances I'm looking at now. I'm looking at the chances of baking a chocolate cookie. How many chocolate cookies? 1. So 1 out of 5. Simple. What's the probability I'm gonna bake a chocolate cookie? Or I mean a vanilla cookie? Oh, well, there's 2, and there's total, so 2 out of 5. So this is for chocolate. This is for chocolate. This is for vanilla. Right? What's the probability I'm gonna bake M&M? Oh, 2 out of 5 as well. 2 out of 5. Why? Because there's 2 and there's 5 total, right? 5 is the total amount. 2 is the number of chances I'm looking at currently. So that's going to be M&M. M&M. All right. So again, it's the total number of chances. Total number of chances on the bottom, and on the top, it's the number of chances you're looking at, the number of chances you're trying to get. Which one is likely and unlikely? It's likely that I'm gonna get a vanilla and an M&M, but it's unlikely that I'm gonna get a chocolate. Why? Because there's more vanilla and M&Ms there's more vanilla cookies and M&M cookies than the chocolate cookies, right? There's only 1 chocolate cookie, and there's 2 vanilla cookies. So which one is more likely? Vanilla, because I have more vanilla cookies than chocolate cookies, right? So likely and unlikely means what? Means what's more likely to happen. The more things are the more of chances of something happening, the likely it is to happen. The less chances something is not going to happen, the unlikely it is going to happen. The unlikely it is, okay? And then we've talked about the possible and the impossible. If something is impossible to happen, there's 0 chances it's going to happen. If something is possible, there's a certain amount of chances it's going to happen, right? Is there a possible that I'm going to get a cake in here? There's no cake. That's impossible because there's no cake inside my box, right? But what's the probability I'm going to get a chocolate? Oh, it's 1 out of 5. That's unlikely. Because why? Because there's only 1. What's the probability I'm going to get a vanilla? That's going to be what? It's possible. The chocolate is possible because there's 1, but it's unlikely because there's only 1, and there's other cookies that are more than the chocolate cookies. The amount of them are more than the chocolate cookies. So the chocolate will be what would be possible to get, but will be unlikely, right? Because there's only 1. The cake is impossible because there's no cake inside my box, right? I can't find a cake here, so I can't. If I randomly put my hand in and try to get something, I will not get a cake because there's no cake, so that's impossible. Vanilla is what? 2. So 2 out of 5. That's possible, and it's also likely because there's 2 of them, right? It's creating 2/5 of the what? Of the number of cookies. All right. So now let's have one last example. Let's say we have a circle. That circle has multiple pieces. Okay. Say some of them are, let's say, 3 blue. There's 3 of them blue. Okay. And then let's say there's 2 brown. 2 brown, 1 black. 1 black right here. And we have 2 red. 2 red. Okay. Now, what's the probability? So it's a circle, and I'm gonna spin it. It's a spinner. It's a spinner, right? I'm gonna use a spinner. So if I spun, what's the probability that it's going to land on a blue? It's going to land on a blue. What's the total amount of slices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 slices. So I'm gonna put 8. What's the total? What's the probability? It's gonna be a blue. So 1, 2, 3. 3 blue. So 3 out of 8. Awesome. So I found the probability that is going to be land on a blue. Land on blue. So landing on blue is possible or impossible? Landing blue is possible because there's blue in there. Now, landing on blue is likely or unlikely? Oh, it's likely because there's 3 of them and there's 8 of them. So yeah, it's a good amount of blue slices. So what? Yeah, it's likely and it's possible and it's 3 out of 8. Awesome. What's the probability that I'm gonna land on black? The probability I'm gonna land on what? On black. Well, so this is the blue. Let's write this in blue actually. So we said what? 3 out of 8. That's for what? For blue. What's the probability I'm gonna land on black? So black is going to be, there's how many total? 8. How many black slices? 1. So 1. That's gonna give you the probability of landing on the black. Is it possible to land on black here? Yes, because there is black. Is it likely or unlikely to land on black? It's going to be what? Unlikely to land on black because there's only 1 and there's a total of 8. So it's gonna be unlikely. That's for black. Now, brown. What's my probability of landing on brown? There's total amount of 8 slices and there's 2 brown, so 2 out of 8. So that's going to be for brown. Awesome. Well, is it possible to land on brown? Yes, it is possible to land on brown because there are 2 brown slices. That's awesome. Is it likely or unlikely? It's likely because there's 2 of them, so it's very likely that it may land on it, right? Red. A total of 8, and then there's 2 red, so 2 out of 8 red. So that's for what? For red. And I'm not sure if this is red or pink, but let's just call it red. So this is going to be what? The probability of landing on the red. Is it possible or impossible? It's possible that it's going to what? It's going to land on the in red because there are 2 red slices inside our circle, right? Now, so my spinner, is it likely or unlikely to land on the red? It's likely because there's 2 of them, right? So it's very likely, right? But which one is more likely, blue or red? Blue, because there's more blue. Which one is more likely, brown or red? Oh, there's 2 out of 8 and 2 out of 8. So they're equally likely. They're what? They're equally likely. They're equal to each other. So they're equally likely. The 8, it's only 1 out of 8. The black is only 1 out of 8. So it's unlikely that it will land on what? On black. Does that make sense, you guys? Now, this is how to define probability. This is simple probability. How to determining the number of chances that something is going to happen. Remember, it's a fraction. The denominator is the total amount of chances. The numerator is the number of chances you're looking at. Okay? I hope you guys found this helpful. This is just simple probability. We're going to cover more complex probability in the upcoming videos. But for now, I hope you found this helpful. If anything is unclear, please go back to that part that was unclear. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.